to do it.
Yeah, the reigning king of dirty jobs, Mike Rowe, presents an entertaining collection of his favorite episodes from his hit podcast in a new book called The Way I Heard It.
The author himself, Mike Rowe, joins us this morning live to talk about it and remind people just how high-pitched my voice is. Hi, Mike Rowe.
Hey, I think you're speaking in a crisp, well-modulated baritone.
Well, there we go.
It sounds fine from where I'm sitting.
Okay,
benevolent.
so this is not a memoir. This is not a mystery. It's a memstory? That's what it says in the back of the book? Memstory.
Yeah, it's well, it's basically a memoir interrupted by truish stories of famous people I've never met that I want you to try and figure out as I'm going.
Okay.
It's a different format, admittedly, but it's a good reflection of what the podcast has been doing for the last 3 years and what the publisher wanted me to do in the way of a memoir. Unorthodox, but what came out the other end somehow or another seems to have worked. So, and by the way, this is the only shirt I own, if you're wondering.
Well, we were curious, so thank you for answering that question off the top. Your brand of storytelling is you're a treasure. You're an absolute treasure. Your brand of storytelling is really what's so fun, and we love the fact that and now you know the rest of the story. Made you miss a flight, but then birthed this whole project.
Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey, one of the greatest podcasters ever, perfected the art of telling biographical stories as mysteries. And of course, when he did it, he called it The Rest of the Story. I call it The Way I Heard It. But I remember in 1988, I think it was, sitting in a long-term parking lot at BWI, late for a flight. I could still make it if I ran.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get out of the car until I heard the end of Paul Harvey. I needed to hear his magic words. And now you know the rest of the story. Only then. So I missed my flight that day because I was sitting in my car listening to this crazy thing. And ever since, I've wanted to write stories that make people late. And that's what I hope the book does.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's kind of our thing, too.
Say,
We
like,
like to make people late.
Let's turn to page 145.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's turn to page 145, and I quote, "The toilet
145?
had never done anything to Jason, period. Nevertheless, comma, Jason was determined to blow it to pieces."
All right.
Yeah.
That's not a bad opening, right?
No, it's a great opening.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting you point that out, Cody. That's the true story of a guy named Jason Everman, who went on to become a highly decorated. It's absolutely true. He's a highly decorated war hero, but spoiler alert: before he became famous for his activities in Afghanistan, he played in a band, and he was thrown out of that band. He was a guitar player, and then he played in another band, which he washed out of as well. Not because he was untalented, just because he just wasn't quite ready for the fame. This guy was the guitar player for Soundgarden and Nirvana.
Oh my gosh.
And could have gone on to be one of the greatest guitar players in the world, but instead enlisted right after 9/11 and distinguished himself as a soldier.
Wow.
And part of the reason, this is an old story I wrote a couple years ago for the podcast, but my mother said, look, what you ought to do with your book is look at some of these older stories you wrote and ask yourself why you wrote them. And I recalled a time in my own youth when I blew up a toilet in a high school very stupidly and was very nearly expelled for it. Happily, I was only suspended, and my father got me off with a warning because he was a public school teacher as well. But I just thought, how odd. I didn't think about it at the time, but this guy, Jason Everman, his whole career went off the rails when, as a kid, you know, he was sort of a quasi-vandal. And I realized once upon a time, he and I shared a weird, separate juxtaposition
With a toilet.
of toilets. Yeah, we each blew up a toilet. I don't know what you want to read into that, but in that moment, dirty jobs happened for me.
Well, the good thing is, Mike Rowe, your book, The Way I Heard It, won't make us late for a flight because we can take the book with us onto the flight. This is good stuff. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Anytime, guys.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
I love the